Welcome to Retrobot, the YouTube channel where we feed a friendly space robot a diet of pure nostalgia, and sometimes that nostalgia just happens to be flavored exactly like turkey. Tonight, in celebration of Thanksgiving, we are going to spend Thanksgiving evening with all of you who, just in case you couldn't be with the ones that you really wanted to spend Thanksgiving with, I don't mind being a second, or a third, or fourth, or fifth. Whatever the case, we're glad that you're here, and we're going to have a lot of fun, a lot of fine fun, talking about Transformer turkeys. These are the ones that are odd and memorable, but not necessarily in good ways. Thank you. So I would like to throw out a toast, of course, to Kyoji. Happy Thanksgiving, Kyoji. And happy Thanksgiving, Sean Shago. Sean wishes everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, Monica. And happy Thanksgiving, Retrobot. Why, thank you, Retrobot. See, he said happy Thanksgiving. Or that he's dialing the police. I'm not sure which. But it was one of those two. And before we get into the meat of tonight's thing, you see what I did there? Because meat and Thanksgiving, because you eat turkey or something. I'm sorry. Before I get into the meat of things, so to speak, I'm gonna address an issue that those of you who are watching this after the fact may run into. So, YouTube has just changed their policies again, and what's going to start happening is that even channels that are not monetized, like, for example, this one, are going to be having ads put on them. Now, the difference between a monetized channel and a non-monetized channel is that with a monetized channel, if there's ads, then we get money for you guys watching ads. You know, it's like we get like fractions of pennies every time you see an ad. So, but that's a thing. The other thing, and this is what's more relevant to you, the viewers, is that we as content creators get to choose, to some degree, what kind of ads we allow. Like, for instance, I never allow banner ads that appear on the screen in front of the video. That's annoying. I never allow mid-roll ads, because that's annoying. I'm perfectly fine with skippable ads at the beginning, ads that appear after the video, or if they want to put ads like around the space on the YouTube page, sure, no problem. But I try never to allow something that's going to be annoying to the people watching the video. And that's something that I'm not going to be able to stop, at least not until this channel gets large enough to meet the requirements to enter the partnership program and become approved for monetization. And then at that point, then I get to have a voice in things like that. So, if you are watching one of these videos and it stops in the middle to show you a 2-minute car commercial, I am sorry. And I would stop it if I could, because I hate that crap. And I wouldn't want to subject my viewers to stuff that I wouldn't want to watch either. And so, now, this is transparently self-serving, but I'm just gonna say, the sooner that we can get the subscribers up to 1,000 and get the watch minutes within a year's time to be over 4,000 watch hours, then the sooner that this channel can be monetized, and then I can have that kind of control. So, if you happen to know people and you want to say, hey, this channel is trying to grow and they are really, really awesome, just go with me on it, okay? We'll just pretend we're really, really awesome. Then, you know, spread the wealth and the information, and also, of course, clicking the likes and thumbs ups and the subscribes and all the other little YouTube-friendly buttons are very helpful. So, that out of the way, let's talk about some Transformers turkeys. Oh, Setsune is here. Hey, Setsune! Happy Thanksgiving! Yes, I apologize about the advert talk. I'm just warning people that YouTube's gonna do stuff and it might be annoying, and I swear it's not my fault. So, moving on to Transformers turkeys. That's right, we have some delicious Transformers for you. Some of the most unique and memorably less than fantastic designs that we've gotten over the years. What you're seeing here is a healthy dose, or a healthy serving of Beast Machine's Silverbolt, and he is ready to be served on a plate, because, you know, that's okay. Admittedly, I just thought that this would be a funny gag. I don't even have lettuce, but so we'll just set that aside. So since we've got Silverbolt here, and you'll see we've actually got quite an assortment of these guys that we're going to be going over, because you know, sometimes it's fun to talk about the ones that you look at and you think, why? First of all, the question is, why did they do it? And second of all, why did I buy it? Yes, those are the important questions. So let's go ahead. We've already started out with Silverbolt. Why don't we just roll on into Silverbolt here? So, in the Beast era, Silverbolt was a breakaway character that shared a name with the aerial bots midsection that had a fear of heights, but really there was no other relation. It was just a reuse of the name because they were doing a lot of that during this period, but it still worked. And he actually transformed into a very cool wolf bird. He was a fusor, and so he was like a wolf creature with wings, and he was adorably cheesy. He was chivalrous, and yet somehow, and this is a testament to the fantastic storytelling of the Beast Wars cartoon and the voice actors and the direction, that even though he was over the top, cheesy and chivalrous, and they would play this little horn that made it sound like a knight in shining armor pretty much every time he was going to say something gross, but it was right on that line where it was funny but sincere. Like, he meant it. And by the end of the series, you kind of believed it. Like, at first, it was just a punchline, but by the end, he won you over into seeing the world a little bit brighter, which, holy crap, how does that happen in a Transformers cartoon? But nonetheless, they pulled it off. And then we entered Beast Machines. And Beast Machines was troubled in a number of ways. The story was bleak. The tone was harsher and more severe, and a little more alien, and a little less relatable. And it seemed like they were working within a tighter budget, not just for the show, but also for the toys. And so we have Silverbolt back in this form, and he is in a techno-organic mode, and my camera just refuses. Sometimes I can get it to focus in on stuff like that, but no, it's got a mind of its own. So let's just go over here, and we're going to take a look. And here's his robot mode, and already you can see that it is very, very simplified. There's a lot of ball joints, not really a lot of transforming parts. Most of it's built into the figure, which makes the robot mode very posable. You know, he can get into all sorts of cool poses, and his leg is a little bit odd. He doesn't have a traditional knee joint, but he's got sort of like these bird-like feet with talons, and he's also got an awkwardly placed head in his stomach. You know, it's one of those things where a beast transformer that has the beast head in the chest is cool, but nobody wants the beast head in the belly. And he's got his beast head right in his abdomen. Yeah, it really doesn't work. And he doesn't really look much like his television show counterpart, although the face is actually pretty close. Let's focus in on that. So, if we can get it, yeah. And he's got a sneer. His personality also changed a lot. In Beast Machines, he was far more dour, and he felt that he was ugly. I believe, which, you know, well, not wrong. And whereas in the Beast Wars era, it was sort of his mission to redeem Black Arachnia, by Beast Machines those roles became reversed, and she ended up having to redeem him. It was an interesting story. That I've got mixed feelings about Beast Machines, because it was an interesting story. It just wasn't fun. You know, it just wasn't fun. You spend a lot of the series just feeling like, this just keeps getting worse. When does it get? When do I start enjoying it? And it's pretty much the moment that Rat Trap and Botanica kiss. That's the moment that the series actually starts getting fun again. And normally I hate cartoon romances because they're bad. They're always bad. They're always cheesy and contrived. But I have to say, the Rat Trap Botanica thing actually worked for me. When that happened, it was like, what? They just did that? And it wasn't like two robots kissing. It was like a rat and a plant kissing. It was so not that you could really tell because of the way that they were animated anyway, because their robot modes looked very bestial, and there was a lot of blurring of the lines that happened in that series, which is part of the reason why you'd end up with figures that look like that. I think that part of the problem here is that they're trying to do more than what they're capable of on a shoestring budget. He would have benefited, like, if this thumb talon had actually moved into position so that it could make this look more like a hand and less just like like his hand is cramped in a really uncomfortable, oh, my thumb is dislocated and it will never go back into joint position. The knees are a problem. And of course the bird head, I think that if they had more budget to do some transformations in the body so that the bird head could properly nest and mesh with the rest of the body, then it wouldn't be so bad. Even if the beak was aimed down at his abdomen, if it wasn't sticking out so far, then it probably wouldn't be so bad. And then he has this as his weapon, which is a sword attached to giant wings, which I feel like that's not terribly practical. I guess you can close it, and now you can't even stab anybody. I mean, that's I don't know what that I don't know what's going on here. It's got a blade there. they did mold the blade in, but you don't get to see it, and or you don't get to use it because and it's got this spring-loaded feature right here, and that's just oh gosh, yeah, it's a rough one. It's a rough one. And here's the thing. So you have this guy, and he's in robot mode, and he does have some cool translucent parts, and he looks posable. And if you're looking at him from the front, you might not notice how awkward the bird head is, which probably in the package, he probably was in robot mode, and you probably couldn't tell just quite how awkward it was until you got him out. But here's the rub. This is the good mode. Yeah. Let's go ahead and transform him. And I'm just gonna do it here. So also I see that there's some conversations happening here. You were talking about Ratbat being in Beast Wars, or Kyoji was talking about Rat Trap and Night Scream. There was Night Scream that was the bat. I don't remember Rat Trap. Or wait, no, Rat Bat, not Rat Trap. Okay, we've got, I think. Oh, Rat Trap. Okay, so it looks like Kyoji was talking about Rat Trap. I thought that you guys were talking about Rat Bat. I don't remember Rat Bat being in Beast Machines or Beast Wars, but there was Night Scream, who was the bat, and he was the angsty, youthful beast guy on Cybertron that turned into a bat. I don't understand why. It was a weird series. So let's go ahead. We're going to pivot these tail things on his back out of the way, and we're going to tip the head back. He does seem to have like a man bun or something going on there, and I that's all I'm going to say about that. And so we're going to move the arms up so that he's got his shoulder thingies back there. And then we're going to position the arms so that the arms turn into bird feet, which honestly, they never stopped looking like bird feet. Let's just be honest here. We're going to pull the head out away from the belly, and we're going to swivel the whole thing in the middle here, and then we're going to tip. See, there's this, it's essentially his crotch, and we're going to take the robot crotch and we're going to fold it up against this little cavity in the belly section where the head was. It might help to tip the bird head back so that we can leverage this forward. and it's going to take a little finessing right here. I'm gonna spread out the legs like this, and that'll help me maneuver things a little bit. Okay, so there we go. So see, there's a pivot that happens there, and then it closes down like that. And so at this point, you can sort of tip the bird head up. Unfortunately, it doesn't go back far enough for the bird to be able to face forward. He's always going to be kind of looking down, which is one of the problems of this mode, but not the only one. And then you have the arms, or the legs, or whatever these are. So you have to take the sword thing, and it's got a couple little holes on the back here and a couple little pegs there. So we're going to just snap that right onto the back. And here I can move the tails down now next to his head. And that, I guess that's intended to kind of disguise the head a little bit. It doesn't really do that at all, but it seems like it's really just beside the head. The head is still there. Yeah, there's no real disguising the head. And so we're gonna take this, and we're just gonna put it right in there, and that sticks there. And then I guess you kind of maneuver these things in ways, and we'll kind of maneuver this one this way, and his wings are going to want to come off, and so I guess he's a bird now. This is that's his bird mode. Honestly, I didn't realize that this was the intended transform. Like, I've had this guy for years. I got him from some of those lots when Monica bought me like 5 lots on eBay of Beast Wars and Beast Machines stuff, and so I got all these guys without instructions or anything, and so I didn't realize that this was sort of what you're supposed to do. This doesn't work. Now, what I thought it was supposed to be, see, I kind of thought that he was some sort of Beast Machine's version of a Fusor, because the original was a Fusor, and I thought that was supposed to be sort of like a Griffin type thing. And I think I've read that a lot of people speculate that that's actually what this design was intended to be, and I don't know why they didn't just go with that. But because as a bird, that ain't no bird. Now, if it's some kind of a griffin creature, I mean, that's not great, but it at least makes more sense like that. And here, let's go to the side camera. So, you know, that at least looks like something. I don't know what it looks like, but it looks like something. It looks intentional. And it's still weird. And it's still awkward, but the, you know, if you do accept this as a Griffin mode or some kind of a hybrid bird and carnivore creature, you know, some kind of bird mammal thing, then this is something. Unfortunately, he poops out his mouth. His face is at his poop chute, and so yeah, he's got a really bad case of ass face, because quite literally, His ass has a face coming out of it.
Ice Bear's tired of staring at this guy's butt.
Ice Bear, you know, you might as well get used to it, because I don't think this is the last time that we're going to have somebody's face in somebody's butt. You know, even just a little more clever molding of these tail pieces so that they would encapsulate that head, or go in front of it. Something. But I don't understand. From beginning to end, I don't understand what happened with this creature. And the other thing I don't understand is, how is it that I own 2 of these? I'm not sure I even need to own 1. But I do. So, when we're talking about a Transformers turkey, grab a hunk off, because the tryptophan is on me. I feel like that should be on a t-shirt. Grab a hunk off, because the tryptophan is on me. And you know what? Here, we do have a little bit of Silverbolt right here. So, there we go. It's a little bit of Silverbolt right there. So, you know what? Your turkey is still delicious. I'm still pretty full from earlier. I should not be eating big mouthfuls of turkey, but you make a delicious turkey. Monica makes, just so that everybody knows, my wife makes a delicious turkey. And we have Nathan Fillion has been encouraging me to get a turkey fryer, because they do the fried turkey. And I have heard from many people that fried turkey is absolutely amazing. And it's not that I don't want to try fried turkey. I have had it once, but they overcooked it and it wasn't very good. But that's beside the point. It's not that I don't believe that it's delicious, because I mean, you could take an old boot and deep fry it and it would be amazing. We used to have a deep fryer. It took probably 20 years off of my life. We had to get rid of it for health reasons. So it's not that I don't believe you, Nathan Fillion, but boy, there's something special about Monica's roast turkey. And when it first comes out of the oven, and I'll sneak into the kitchen after she's taken it out of the oven when it's still hot, and I'll tear off a little piece from the underside with the skin still on it, and then I'll dip it in the dripping so that it's just dripping with all of the highest calorie artery clogging stuff, and you have to blow on it a lot, because that grease is still insanely hot, and even after it's been sitting there for 15 minutes, you would think that it doesn't cool down ever until you put it into the fridge. So then I take, oh my gosh, it's and I'm just not willing to give that up. I get it once, maybe twice a year at most, and so maybe at some point we'll have Thanksgiving at somebody else's house where they deep fry their turkey. But for us, I don't think that we're ever going to get a turkey fryer. So, that's just what it is. What it is. So let's move onward and upwards. So we had the Beast era. And then we get to robots in disguise, or car robots, as people commonly call it. And we had some interesting designs there that we probably could have found some turkeys in that one. But I'm going to jump a little bit further to Transformers Armada. Transformers Armada was weird. It was a weird line. And in some ways, Transformers Armada, even more so than car robots, Transformers Armada was the first attempt to get back to the roots of Transformers, and we had an Optimus Prime that looked like a truck. He didn't look like a normal truck. He was a Cybertronian truck, but he still looked like a truck. And you know, the smaller version of Armada Optimus Prime is an amazing little figure. It is absolutely fantastic, and I love that mold. I've got probably half a dozen different recolors of that mold, and if Hasbro reissued that mold in another half dozen colors, I would buy each and every one of them, because it's just such a great mold in general. It's just fun, and it works well, and it's that nice balance between a convincing and interesting transform that's not too complicated to inhibit the play value. It's just love the small version of Optimus Prime mold from Transformers Armada. But they did kind of take some steps backwards. For one thing, they started putting a lot of sound boxes and stuff, usually to the toy's detriment. The other thing was that they were shoehorning in spring-loaded gimmicks that were activated by mini-cons, oftentimes sacrificing the posability and a lot of the gains that we had gotten from the Beast era. Remember that before Beast Wars, Transformers had arms that did this, and that was the articulation. But then you get to Beast Wars, you've got lots of ball joints, and you have actual posable figures, and you've got weapons that are integrated into the transforms. They made fantastic leaps forward in engineering for that line, and then in Armada, we put a lot of that stuff aside and went a little bit more gimmicky, and I get it, because I feel like Armada was aimed at a younger crowd, so they were trying to capture, get new kids interested in Transformers, and they still didn't understand the whole adult collector thing quite yet. They were aware of it, but they still didn't get it. Now they get it better. Sometimes I feel like they still don't quite get it, but they certainly get it better than they did back then. So Amanda is here. A toast to Amanda McKayo. Happy Thanksgiving, Amanda. So, one of the... Gosh, you know, it's it's hard for me to even go here. Oh, give you a minute before... Do you want me to talk about test? Oh, okay, you're right. Okay. So in Armada, there was mold, and I forget what this guy's was. He wasn't Smokescreen. He was somebody else, and I forget who he was. But I ended up getting this. This is Treadshot, and he is a recolor of Sideswipe. And you look at the car mode, and it's like, you know what? That's a pretty nice vehicle mode. I mean, the car looks great. The translucent parts look really, really good. And he's also got this feature. He's got a Minicon motorcycle that parks in his trunk, and that's really cool. I think that it's supposed to be like, yeah, you press the button and it's supposed to swing around. It doesn't. I think it worked better years ago, but there we go. Yeah, you loosen it up and it works. So you press the button and boom, look at that. He's got a motorcycle and it hides really well. So that's cool. and the colors are nice, and the mold looks nice. The front end is nice. I mean, you know, oh, and the Decepticon symbol on the back. I mean, hell, I'm half tempted to do that on my car. That's pretty awesome. Like the racing stripe. So they really made a very nice vehicle mode with this Transformer. And I suspect that he was in vehicle mode when we bought him. So Treadshot is another character where they're reusing the name from an earlier Gen 1 character, but not one that you're probably familiar with, because he was an Action Master. And he came with a cat, and the cat would turn into a gun. A lot of the Action Master companion guys, which I actually liked the little robotic animal companions. I thought they were cool. So you would press the tail, and there, yeah, it's spring-loaded, and then you could stick the Action Master's weapon in the little hole there. Although I very oftentimes didn't, because honestly, that's good the way it is. I mean, it's pretty convincing as a gun, and I feel like that in itself is like, that's something that would get used in battle. Like, you know, it's like it's running and it's pouncing, and then instead of biting you, it shoots you in the face, and then it transforms back, and then it eats the guts out of the hole in your face, and that's pretty awesome. He does kind of the transforms on these are just not good. I think that it was like that. It's either like that or like that. And once you transform him into a handheld weapon, he's too heavy for the character to hold anyway. So, at least, and stay up. So, anyway. Maria Paul Rojas says, I'm a friend of Amanda's. She requested I join just to say this. Chug, chug, clay, chug, or chug, clay, chug. All right, you know what? For you. And thank you, Amanda, for inviting friends, because we need friends. Chug, chug. Smooth. Yeah. We don't have a secret word, do we? No, not tonight. We'll have a secret word. We have a sweet secret word on our Fridays where I chug whenever I say the secret word. But apparently I'm willing to chug when people request that I chug, because that's the kind of live stream that this is. So, thank you, Amanda. A toast to Amanda and Maria Paula Rojas. That one's for Maria. That one's for Amanda. Yeah. My face is turning a little red there, but now see, I always kind of liked Treadshot. He's got some yellowing happening, but as Action Masters go, he has pretty decent proportions, and I love that he was designed as though he transformed into a revolver. You could see the details on his legs and the interesting details on his midsection. I mean, he's a cool guy, and if they actually made a transforming version of this, I would want it. So this was one of the Action Masters that I really liked when I was younger, and you know what? I still like him. These guys were cheap. They were great army builders because they were so cheap and they were uniform size. And hey, robots that can ride in vehicles, that's always cool. Or robots that have little robotic animal companions, that's cool. So yeah, that is Gen 1 Treadshot with his cat gun here. And I forget what the cat gun's name is, but Catgut. His name is Catgut. This. Oh gosh, what are you guys? Okay, never mind. Those people don't even work at Hasbro anymore. I'm not even gonna ask. But so. Oh, the minicon is Nightbeat. Okay, so for him, okay, he should have been Catgut. So once again, reusing a Gen 1 name for a character that was not Gen 1. So here we go. Let's go ahead and pull Nightbeat out because he turns into a pretty cool motorcycle, and he's on a minicon port. There he goes. So that's a pretty cool little motorcycle. And my recommendation is that you just leave him like this. You're really better off. Why don't we just leave him like this? We can probably go the rest of the live stream without turning this guy into whatever he turns into. I know. We have to do it. Okay. Don't say I didn't warn you. So here we go. We're gonna turn him into something. You take the exhaust pipes and you swing them down like this, and you kind of pivot this up, and then he's got sort of a little robot face, and you pivot this sideways, and well, there you go. He can't pick anything up because he doesn't. He has the opposite of hands. He has tires, and he has little skinny. They're legs. Those are definitely legs. They are definitely more legs than the tires are hands. Let's just put it that way. As appendages go, his legs far exceed his arms. That is whatever the hell is. He had a name. It's motorcycle guy. Let's just go ahead and turn him back into a motorcycle, shall we? Because that's how you're gonna leave him. You are not gonna use that robot mode ever. So yeah, we'll just turn him back into a motorcycle. And hey, look, he looks great as a motorcycle. He's a nice little motorcycle. I'm much happier now that he's a motorcycle. And then we've got Treadshot here. And we can just, he goes on that minicon port right there, and then we can hide him in there. So that is really cool. And so, you've got a cool looking car. It's got a motorcycle hidden in the back. I mean, this is a mask vehicle. All we need is to be able to open the car door and put a little action figure inside, and you don't even need to transform it. In fact, you're better off if you don't. Let's just do this. We're just doing this. So we can pull he's got spring-loaded, so he's got, I guess I'll show this. He's also got sort of a punching feature. So you press there, and the car hood pops out, and I think that's, I mean, obviously they made it so that it works in vehicle mode, so I guess that's like a ramming thing. He could roll up against another character. You know what, wait, here, let me just choose somebody else completely at random, and let's see how well this works. So we've got Wheelie here. Thank you for volunteering, Wheelie. And so I guess we do this. Oh, come on. That was lame. Let's try this again. Okay. So he would roll up against Wheelie and whoa! Holy crap! That was great! Wheelie is gone. Wheelie flew off the table. You know what? This. Oh, Retrobot, thank you, buddy. That's nice of you. So Retrobot is finding Wheelie. Boy, he flew. Okay, thank you. So we get Wheelie back. Gosh, that was impressive. I take back everything that I'm about to say about this guy. So you've got that cool attack feature. You've got the motorcycle hidden in the back. With the vehicle, this guy is awesome. Maria is going to stay. She says we're nice. Oh, thank you, Maria. A toast to Maria. Thank you so much. Yeah. I'm chugging for you, Maria. So we have that. But it is a transformer. And that's where things get complicated. Not so much complicated, just kind of bad. I write songs about the truth. So yeah, let's go ahead and we're going to pull apart the back a little bit. We're going to just do that for now, and we're going to pull at the sides. And so, you know, the whole back quarter panel just pulls out on either side, and that creates the robot legs. So, and then the doors and the hood, like this whole thing just folds down around the side there. And then the knee joint, well, it doesn't really have a knee joint, but the joint that occurs where a knee should be has kind of a double joint, none of which actually function as a knee. But it does it does that, and then you can flip down a little foot, and then we've got the other side. You do the same thing, and you can see that the front keeps going to do this. So you're going to pivot the body forward like this, and you're going to spread the arms out. See, the arms kind of click into this little gray piece in there. So you're going to spread those out, and he's got shoulder joints, but they've got these things that keep them from allowing him to do, like, he can't do this. Okay, if he were a cheerleader and somebody yelled, "Give me a T," he would destroy himself. He might burst into flames. Certainly his arms would fall off, and the crowd would be horrified or greatly entertained. So you're going to flip down this little thing in the front, and that gives him a nice Decepticon symbol right on his front there. And now we can put his punch action fenders there, and then just rotate these. See these are his hands, and then he's got so he's got elbows, and he's sort of got shoulders, and he's got sort of legs. He's also got, like, there's a lot going on here. I mean, I can't imagine him walking through a door. Let's go ahead and show this on the side camera. This is the robot mode, and that is not good. He does have, you can press this little thing and get the punch action, which as a play feature is pretty good. You know, I like that he can do here, come on, do it. There we go. So he can do that, and the joint here at the elbow is pretty floppy, and I don't understand why they did this. And to be honest, I don't even know why it is that I haven't cut those pointed things off so that he'd have more articulation. Maybe because his robot mode is so bad, I just decided not to bother. That's what you've been signaling to me. So yes, he does also have a gun. So yeah, he's got a gun, and he can, pew pew. So yeah, we've got the gun, and oh look, he's got a motorcycle parked up his anus. That seems really uncomfortable, and it's just there in between his legs. And what is that hanging down there anyway? You can flip it around. Oh, now that's worse. That is worse. I'm not sure that is appropriate for children at this point. So, yeah, he's got a prolapsed motorcycle. That is just unsettling. I guess you could like have him walk around like this, and well, that is not PG, ladies and gentlemen. That is, Kyoji says that is some chonky business right there. And Kyoji, you are correct. A toast to Kyoji. Yeah, like, it's, there are gimmicks, and this has gimmicks, and some of the gimmicks are actually pretty cool. I mean, anything that can fling wheelie across the room without needing my help, that gets a thumbs up from me. So you may wonder why I ended up buying something, because there had to be a picture that showed some of this, although the pictures very often don't do them justice. He was part of a 2-pack, and included in that 2-pack was the character that I really wanted. Do you remember when I was talking about the many repaints of Armada Optimus Prime? This is Ultra Magnus, and I love this version. He looks great. Yeah, he's just a white Prime. His colors are pretty straightforward Ultra Magnus-y type colors. And yeah, sure, this is from the era when we had a lot of, if you had a Prime, you would remold it in white and call it Ultra Magnus. But personally, I never had a problem with that. I am okay with repaints of Prime in white called Ultra Magnus. I just wish more of them came with power armor. I wish this guy had some power armor, and like legit power armor, not like the larger version of Optimus Prime with that god-awful hideous trailer that turned into, I don't know what it turned into. It did it automatically, which was cool, but it didn't look like anything. I kind of wish the pipes were red and you could just put them on his shoulders. To get the Ultra Magnus style. Yeah, I could see that. I absolutely could see that. But that being the case, I love this mold, and this is another opportunity to own this mold, and so I took it, and I ended up with Treadshot, and let me show you. So this guy, I love the way that the front transforms. This is a great move, and it's one that you don't see a whole lot. So that's cool. You take the shoulders and you close them up over the head, just like that. And then you take the arms and you're just going to bend them up this way with the sleeves covering the hands. So, and then that's going to peg in. And so once that's all in place, ideally it should it should kind of slip together. There we go. So we'll fit that in. Peg in. There we go. So we got that side pegged in, and then we've got this side, and we'll peg that in. And then this whole panel just comes up, and it closes around the front and snaps into place. And then we're going to flip up the feet, put the legs together, and then squish them. You got to make friends with the Ultra Magnus. You just squish the Ultra Magnus. And now he's a truck. And is he a strictly Earth-looking truck? No. He you know, this mold was never, this design never looked very Earth-like, but not unbelievable. It's still very clearly a semi, just a unique looking semi. And at this time, we hadn't seen Optimus Prime as something other than a flat front truck type vehicle, except for when he was a gorilla. Oh, you're right. There was Laser Prime after Gen 2. So, okay, we did have Laser Prime, and that was it. That was the, you had, you had two versions of Gen 2 Optimus Prime. You had the Laser Prime, and then you had the one with the air bladder thingy. Those both had, were not a flat front. So I guess, the smaller one was a fire truck, wasn't it? Robots in Disguise was a fire truck, but it was a flat front fire truck. We had not seen a lot of Optimus Primes that weren't a flat front truck, and so this design, I always really liked it. And seeing Ultra Magnus in this form, I really like it too. And sure, it's a little bit cartoony, but I love the big knobby tires. I love kind of the low profile look. It's like extra wide, and he just looks beefy and tough. And like I said, the transform is that nice balance between some creative moves and some interesting things happening, a convincing conversion, but also not so complicated that he's not fun to play with. Yeah, it's pretty seamless and pretty straightforward. So, I like I said, I love this mold, and I love this mold. So let's see. Kyoji says, one of the things I like about this version of the mold is that it doesn't have freaking fists hanging off of the tail end. Yes! Thank you, Kyoji! The large version has giant fists that are not disguised at all in vehicle mode. Also, the proportions are different. The wheels of the truck are smaller in relation to the rest of the robot, and it just doesn't work as well. It's funny because the toys are very, very similar, but one is good, and the bigger, more expensive one is bad. So, and if you want to see me go into that more, check out the Worst of Primes live stream, because we talked about it. Yes, we did. And so, anyway, he was part of a 2-pack, and so honestly, I didn't really care about Treadshot when I got Treadshot. I wasn't upset to get him, but really, I was buying that 2-pack for Ultra Magnus. That's just how it goes. So let's go ahead and set those guys aside, and I want to show something that's completely not Transformers related, just because I can. This is something that I started because I needed to make. I needed something like this for work, but I finished it because I wanted to. I built this. So this is a monkey wrench, and you'll see that that it does work. I needed to reference some basic tools, and one of the tools that I needed to reference for work, and I needed to be able to shoot some pictures and videos, is a monkey wrench. And I don't actually own a monkey wrench, so I decided that I'd make one. And originally, my plan was just to mock one up so that I could take photos and video, and it would have been fine. But I got partway into the project and I realized that really what I wanted was a real one. And monkey wrenches were popular in the very early 20th century. In the 1920s, they gave away, they included monkey wrenches with the Ford Model A, which is why even today these wrenches are often called Ford wrenches. And they were particularly useful when bolts had square heads. Of course, the problem with square-headed bolts is that you had to be able to give it a full 90-degree turn before you'd be able to reset it, and anybody who's worked on cars knows that you can very rarely get a full 90-degree turn. So these have kind of been taken over by crescent wrenches. But yeah, I built this out of, I started with a large nut and bolt, and then I welded the nut onto a piece of steel tubing, and then I took a Harbor Freight clamp, one of those long bar clamps, the plastic ones that honestly they don't hold very well. They tend to slip free, so I'm not really a big fan of those, and I didn't mind sacrificing it for the build. But I took the steel shaft from it to make this, and also I cut off pieces of that and layered them up to make the heads. So each head is 3 layers of this bar welded together, and then ground down and sanded and cut to make the jaws, and then I made a wooden handle, and so yeah, that is my wrench, and I really like my wrench because it makes the clicky noises, and so yeah, it's a lot of fun, and so I'm just showing that because I really like my wrench, and it's Thanksgiving, and sometimes you just need to show people online your wrench. That's my wrench. So, anyway, so onward to things that people actually care about. I'm getting a message from my producer. Wait. K. Kyoji says, part of that for the larger, we're talking again about the Armada version of Optimus Prime. The larger one is that they had the battery-powered light in the right forearm that was only effective when you had his weapon plugged in for light piping. Yes, you are correct. Although, I'm just going to throw out that I feel like they still could have done a better job hiding these. That's bad. It's really bad. This truck. Here, let's. This was like a Walmart or a Kmart exclusive version, which interesting colors. It was on super sale. I remember it being like on super sale, like super duper clearance. I wonder if that light's not coming on. Yeah, the batteries are long dead, but it did have like clear weapons. It had a sword, and you can see that there is a little LED in there, and then ideally you put that and you would see a tiny glow if all the lights in the room were out. So, but yeah, gosh, look at that. It only looks like this on the back of the vehicle, and his tires are little, and what the hell is this anyway? I mean, he's towing the trailer, okay? He pulls the trailer All right, that's the whole point of a trailer, is that it gets pulled by the truck, and yet the trailer has treads. What does that do? What? I mean, is that like, is the trailer actually pushing Prime along? I don't know. I don't understand this toy. It's and it's got these big boxes. It's yeah. So we could easily go into that further, because that toy is a bit of a turkey, but we've already talked about it during the worst of primes, so I'm gonna let it go. So moving on, that was Armada, and Armada has certainly had its fair share of turkeys. I'm sweating now. I probably shouldn't have more of this, but I'm going to. A toast to everybody. You know what? That's evaporated. So yeah, we'll fix that. That glass is defective. There's no more booze in it. So moving on. We get to Transformers Energon. Now, Transformers Energon is actually one of my favorite Transformers lines. Overall, I really liked a lot of the designs. There were a lot of great-looking Decepticons. There were a lot of very nicely done Autobots. They, the Autobots all had that combining feature where they would split at the midsections, and then you had kind of usually a bit of an awkward looking, but still a combined mode, and that was cool. You could mix and match them and figure out which ones worked with what guys best, and it worked out. I liked it. Sure, it was kind of gimmicky, but it was well done gimmicky, and the Omnibots were cool, and the Terracons were mostly cool. You had a terrible Optimus Prime, but other than that, you had a Megatron that was an homage to Gen 1 Galvatron from the movie, which, as somebody who always wanted Gen 1 Galvatron to look like he did in the movie, then oh, okay, so we're digging into the dessert wine now. Okay, so I know that my parents don't watch these live streams, but I'm just going to say Happy Thanksgiving, Mom and Al, and thank you for the wine. And I will be calling you later this evening. So, but yeah, there were some turkeys in the Energon line, and oh gosh, this turkey, I mean, this was front and center in the line. This was like the guy that got the most attention throughout the whole series. And it's like, why? I mean, why? Ironhide, what have they done to you? It's this. Wait a minute. I have him transformed wrong. Here. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, you can push his hat down over his eyes. Oh wait, there we go. Yeah, you can push his hat over his eyes. So that certainly doesn't look like a robot wearing a ball cap that somebody grabbed onto and shoved over his eyes. Maybe the robot's taking a nap? Oh gosh. This is Energon Ironhide. no relation to Gen 1 Ironhide, which is one of my favorite characters. And even though it had a sticker for a face, it's one of my favorite toys. Of course, you saw that I gave mine a face, like a legitimate robot head, and it looks a lot better that way. So, you know, you get past the sticker face, and it's a cool toy. But this is Energon's Ironhide. Oh, yeah, this is... Yeah, we got a reissue of the Japanese version, and he's cool. I mean, yes, because the Diaclone series had these as piloted mechs, and this toy didn't have a head. The seat for the driver was behind the windshield. Hasbro's solution was to put a really unconvincing sticker. And no sticker was going to do it justice. They really should have just ponied up for a head. Just stick a head on there. It wouldn't have taken much, but they did not. Now, if we had my other version, I could show that with the head. But anyway, so yeah, this is Gen 1 Ironhide, and he is and I love this toy. He has that separate part that separates out the back, and he's cool. He was a cool toy, especially in 1984. So we get to Energon, and oh yeah, so this has a sound box. I don't know what that sound is. It's not quite a machine gun sound. So the Japanese version of Energon Ironhide was named Roadbuster, though he doesn't do the Gen 1 Roadbuster any favors either, even if Gen 1 Roadbuster was non-existent in North American fiction. So I did not know that. Anyway, that was Kyoji. Thank you, Kyoji, because Kyoji is a master at knowing the history on this stuff. So thank you, Kyoji. Yeah. So let's. So this one is the one that I had when I was a kid, and so this is him, and we'll just separate that, and you take the gun off of the bottom, and then you pull out the arms, and see, I added a head, instead of that little seat, and so there he now has a head. And we can flip around the fists and flip out the feet. And I'll put them. So this is my Ironhide, and I like that. I personally am very happy with that. I was less satisfied when I was a kid with the sticker face, but I just kind of learned to live with it. Obviously, not enough that eventually I didn't make a head for him, but nonetheless, he was just always one of my favorites, and there have been precious few really good versions of Ironhide. So I appreciate him, and I was always affronted that name got attributed to this. So I look at this. And let's go ahead and go to the side camera. Whether his name was Ironhide or Roadbuster, depending on which country you were in, he is an obvious departure from the rest of the Transformers Energon line, where the rest of the line had a lot of highly detailed figures with a lot of translucent bits and things like that. This looks like a play school toy. The giant light apparatus to hold the obligatory sound box is just, it's really hard to get past. It's so oversized. The obvious robot head on top with the mushing his hat down over his eyes thing does not help. The painted window, instead of having translucent, or and then you can see through here, so they've got seats in here, but it looks like a kid toy. It looks like something from Play School. It doesn't look like it belongs in the rest of the Energon line, and that's probably the biggest problem with this toy. Now, his robot mode, as robot modes go, is not bad. So let's go ahead. We're gonna flip up the back quarter panels like that. We're going to flip up the arms and then separate them. We're going to take the entire front end of the vehicle and we're going to fold it down like that. And then this wrecking bar, this extra bumper thing, we fold that out, and then we fold out these, and then you can also flip the bumper forward to make feet. And now we're going to take the arms and we're going to pivot them down and swing them forward just like that, and then swivel around at the elbows to put his arms into some kind of a natural pose, and then we'll flip up the head, and I feel like the sound box is supposed to do more than just that. Oh, okay, so if I had his weapon here, it would also do this. So that's him. As robot modes it's fine. He does have good articulation, even though he's pretty chunky. And I don't really mind a chunky transformer. Sometimes I like characters that are kind of husky. And I think that if his vehicle mode didn't look so Duplo, then perhaps I wouldn't mind this so much. Obviously, this whole apparatus on top is bad. It's just bad. It's enormous, and it does nothing to enhance the robot mode or the vehicle mode. And the sound effects are tremendously unimpressive. Like, there's all of this large chunkiness added that's out of scale with everything else, and all you're getting is a little or a phew. I mean, that's the compromise, huge design compromises to make a character whose head is sticking out of the top of the vehicle mode, and has this giant thing just for some subpar sound effects. I feel like if they had just not done this, maybe made this as a separate piece that could be added. That's what they did with characters like Landmine, and it was done to great effect. Also, there was that the helicopter that looked like Springer. I want to say that he was named Bulkhead, he was a great. He had a great robot mode, and he had this backpack thing with the articulated arms, and it was big and chunky, but it was an added thing. If you didn't want to use it, he still had a really cool robot mode and vehicle mode. But that backpack thing with the big arms things, I think that was cool. So yeah, I really enjoyed that toy. This is this is a bad implementation of that gimmick, and this is where sometimes these gimmicks can just ruin a design. But I think that the other thing, like if they had done that, you know, this becomes a separate part, and then actually disguise the head. Have it fold into the vehicle, because they could have at that point. Maybe made him on scale with the other Autobots rather than him being a ridiculously oversized Jeep that is far bigger than the fire truck and the crane and the other vehicles that should be on par with him. I know, scale is something that Transformers, it just isn't. Scale isn't when it comes to Transformers, and I understand that. But he really, this toy did not fit the rest of the line. And then to showcase him heavily with the annoying kid character whose name for some reason was Kick Me. It was Kick Me, right? Kick Me? So, yeah, and his voice, oh my gosh, it was so bad. He's like, hey, Kicker, we're gonna go on an adventure for Optimus Prime, okay? And it's like, oh my gosh, would somebody get this guy a beer and tell him to go outside and stand in the corner? I mean, I felt my IQ dropping every time he said words. I couldn't get through that series. I tried to watch the series. I couldn't get through it. It was abysmal. It was one of the worst Transformers TV shows in existence, and there have been a lot. Until Cybertron. I couldn't get through that one either. Oh gosh. Boy, that was a lot of time racing on the Speed Planet. I didn't get past the race on the Speed Planet. I feel like there were 100 episodes of Transformers Cybertron, and 90 of them took place on the Speed Planet with a race that ended up not mattering because like the Decepticons just stole the planet key. I must have made it to the end because I remember that the Decepticons just stole the planet key, so the whole race thing was pointless anyhow. So yeah, Kyoji is correcting me. Kicker. It was Kicker. I just like to call him Kick Me. A toast to Kyoji. So, yeah, this Energon Ironhide is a turkey. And the toy is a turkey, and the character was a turkey, and the series was a turkey. Just, oh, that's all I can say about that. Stop it! You see, every time you. So we're just gonna set him aside, and now you know what, we kind of jumped over something, and it's because I had a lot of things piled on the table that I need to get through before I made it this far. I'm gonna move Bruticus here. Here, oh. Okay, so we gotta talk about Cheetor. This here we'll move Rampage and what's his name. So this is Mega Class Supreme Class, I guess. Supreme Class Beast Machines Cheetor. And this is something. It's a whole lot of something, and I'm not even sure what It does look a lot like the Cheetor from Transformers Beast Machines. And it's got gimmicks. This is another one where they put in gimmicks, and it's not a very good toy, but it's got gimmicks. So let's see, we've got sort of we've got a firing missile thing that yep, that's, it fires. I hope I didn't kill our cat. That cleared the room. They've got some spring action in here. Is that it? Did this come out of there? Oh my gosh, that's horrifying. So yeah, so it's got a firing missile there, and it looks like there's a space for a second one. We got this at a thrift store, didn't we? We saw it at a thrift store. Oh, well, I guess don't move the arm because it'll shoot your wine. Guess I'll just leave that out for now. We got this at a thrift store, and it was packaged with a remote control that didn't actually. This doesn't use a remote control. For years, we thought that the remote control just didn't work. It doesn't have a remote control. It does have batteries in it, and it does this. There's a little handle on the back, and then it roars. And it has some flashing lights. And there's also a knob here that makes the head go back and forth. And I think that the jaw is kind of, oh, okay. If you pivot at, right at the head, the jaw opens and closes. So, it can be like, hey guys, how you doing? I'm Cheetor, and I'm kind of going through a defiant stage, and I'm really, really angsty now. I was kind of a lovable character in Beast Wars, but now we're just gonna go for angsty. So that is that's yeah, it does that. It also has this feature. So if you put the paw down, it has creepy extended claw action. So it can be like swipey, and that actually is it works very reliably. As soon as you put it down, it wants to pop out. So you have to leave the hand up or the claw up like that. And that is Cheetor in his Cheetah Mode. Now the Cheetah Mode, it's that weird Beast Machines aesthetic. He's kind of emaciated in places and really big and bulbous in places. I don't hate the aesthetic, but it's extreme. It is definitely extreme. But here's what this is what really kills this toy for me. I'm gonna transform it. Okay, we're going to open up the chest, and we're going to fold out the robot head and turn it around. We're going to fold in the cheetah head, and now we can collapse the body, and it also has the stomach piece, which we can add. There we go. And it seems like this is on a hinge, but it doesn't really. It doesn't really, like. I don't understand this piece, but nonetheless, it does seem to just kind of clip on here. Ideally. Go on there. Stop fighting me. Okay, so... There we go. Oh, here. I guess we'll flip up these little things. And that's it. That's his robot mode. If you can't put the hand down, because if you do, then it does that. So if you try to put his hand in a more natural position, there ain't nothing natural about that. That is not normal. So you have to have it sort of in a Yahweh kind of. Or maybe, you know what, maybe he's doing the Vulcan salute. I don't know. And, this arm isn't really posable. It does tend to want to fire missiles when you're playing with it. The joints, okay, so this pops apart really easily. The shoulder joints come out this way. So he can't go like this, but his arms kind of go like this. But effectively, he's a cheetah that stands up. This is a huge figure that probably was really expensive. And he is a transformer that kind of doesn't do a whole lot of transforming. He kind of looks like a ballet dancer, and good luck getting him to stand up. He's like 2 feet tall and lanky, and he can't get his hands into natural positions. It's bad. It's just, and you can't really play with him with any other figures because he's the only Supreme class, and in the show, he never got huge. Like, they did that giant-sized Starscream for the Cybertron line, and in the show, he gets huge. It goes along with the story. This, I guess you can make up your own reasons why he towers over, like he's the bringer of death, Cheetor, who's going to stomp what's left of Cybertron into submission with very, very tiny feet. But yeah, there's just not a. Here we can. Yeah, we got. There's some blinky lights. And the head, let's see, the eyes. Oh, okay, so there's a lever in the back, and you can make his head do that. So, right here. Yeah, his head does that. His eyes change color, and that's pretty cool. The individual gimmicks are not bad gimmicks, but it's just a bad toy, and it's completely out of place. And I want to say that I read somewhere that the original retail price was over $100, something like that. But whatever it was, I'm not spending $100 to own this. That's called a poor return on your investment. So, yeah, we saw it at the thrift store, and it was very, very cheap. In very, very good shape. The electronics still work. But I wasn't paying full price for this. I wouldn't even pay the sale price for this. I paid the thrift store price for this. So yeah, that's Cheetor. That's, ooh. if he were a turkey, that would be more impressive because he doesn't turn into a very good cheetah. So yeah, we're gonna set Cheetor aside, and let's move on to a subject that I know people will be so glad that I'm getting into, because it's always so much fun. That's right. Let's look at some of the toys from the Michael Bay movies. These are a couple of the Constructicons from Revenge of the Fallen. I think that it's Rampage and Scavenger, or Rampage and... I don't know. That's how bad it is. I don't even remember what these guys' names are. Let me see. The Bulldozer is Rampage, and this one's Demolisher. This is Demolisher. And I think I figured it out. I mean, aside from the fact that the stories were nonsensical and there was no character development given to the characters in the movies, particularly the robot characters, which were the reason why I would want to see a Transformers movie. We have toys that look amazing in vehicle mode. I mean, these are really, really detailed and convincing vehicle modes, and you've got rubber treads. They don't spin, which is a shame, but still really, really nice vehicle modes. Impressive vehicle modes. This, you look at the scale of this and you can just imagine, this is one of those giant earth mover things where, those are the steps, okay? The person that would pilot this would be literally the size of a Zoid figure in scale. And that's really, really cool. And they have these Mecha Live features where when you move stuff, other stuff moves, and that's cool. And the colors are subdued and realistic, and the detail is very, very nice. And let's go ahead and let's just put you put a Zoid figure here, and he's like, yeah, you know what, this is about right. I could I'll just sit kind of here. I'll eat my sandwich. There should be a guardrail here, but there's not. I'm gonna call OSHA, and yeah, he would fit in that door, and he'd be like, oh, look, I can go in that door, and oh no, the door's locked, I can't go in there. Well, I guess I can't work. Boss, I'm gonna go eat another sandwich. And that's what he would do. Now he would, of course, this is a completely different scale thing, but it's got a pretty small passenger compartment. I feel like, that would be a big machine if that were in scale. But I think that this would be a lot smaller, and a lot more of this would be driver compartment than just what you see here. So really, really impressive vehicle modes. And I remember when these were first released, I thought, okay, well, these are the Constructicons, and the vehicle modes look great, so I'll get them, and then once I have all 6, I thought it would be 6, I'll be able to form Devastator. No, these do not transform and combine. They're just Constructicons. They're just construction vehicles that turn into... I'm reluctant to use the word robots. And this is where I started on this conversation. I started going down this route. You know what? I feel like I need to drink. So they turn into something, and this is one of the big problems that I have with the designs, the character designs for the Michael Bay movies. If these movies were just, they didn't have the name Transformers on them, and it was about aliens that can disguise themselves as machines, alien monsters that disguise themselves as machines, and it was actually like a horror story type thing, that's freaking cool. That could be very cool. But monsters, Decepticons are bad guys. They're characters. Sean Shago says, I really don't like any of the Transformers movies, though I do like the toys, but I don't like the fact that they're movie versions of existing characters. Does that make sense? You know what, Sean? I am right there with you. You probably picked up that I hate the Michael Bay movies. I hate them. They make me angry because his involvement and his interpretation has kept us from getting the movies that we've wanted for decades. The closest live action movie to capture a little bit of what always attracted me to Transformers in the first place was Bumblebee. And it was still tainted by that Michael Bay aesthetic, but at least it had characters and motivation and story. And it showed, and you know, obviously they had those Cybertron scenes, which were a love letter to fans like me. That's, you know, ultimately that's what I want to see. But yeah, I love the realistic the realistic vehicle designs, because these vehicles look great, and you know, it's got pivoting places, and it looks good, and you know, this thing you can, well, this doesn't move around a whole lot, but they're very playable. They look great, but they don't represent, you know, even though they steal names, the names don't matter, because none of the characters are the characters that we want to see. You know, that's what Michael Bay does not understand. That Transformers at its heart is a franchise built on characters, both good guy characters and bad guy characters that have clearly defined personalities. And when your bad guys aren't bad guys, they're just mindless monsters rampaging around and blowing stuff up for no really well-defined reason, no real motivation, no, you know, nothing interesting or compelling, just, you know, he looks at the Transformers as just a special effect and nothing more. And that's why he needs to never, ever, ever, ever be involved in a Transformers movie ever again for the rest of the universe. And if he even gets close to one, somebody needs to assassinate him. I'm sorry, but he can't be allowed near the franchise. It's bad. It's bad. So, all that aside, and Sean says, I'd rather complain about Michael Bay ripping off the Transformers idea rather than complaining about him sullying the name of Cybertron. A toast, Sean. A toast to Sean. A second toast to Sean. My parents make good wine. So, oh, Christopher Remley is here! A toast to Christopher Remley! Happy Thanksgiving, Christopher! Christopher, I know you're very sorry to hear this, but you just missed me ranting about Michael Bay, but, you know, I might not be done. So, so here we go. We've got Rampage and Demolisher. They really don't have anything in relation to the Gen 1 characters other than the names. Rampage was actually a Predacon, not a bulldozer, and Demolisher was he was a tank in Armada and a dump truck in Energon, and the Energon version was really awesome. We'll show him sometime, but I'm gonna transform this, and this is not gonna be pretty. I'm throwing out there, it's not gonna be pretty. So you need to disconnect the side thingies from the shovel here. Thank you, Michael Bay, for thinking that your Voop Voop noises are better than the transform noise that is one of the most iconic features of the franchise that you insist on working on. Okay, I'm going to digress. So I folded up those side thingies on the bucket here, and then it's going to pivot out like this, and see it's got many joints along here that connect it to the front, and it comes apart from that pretty easily. So if it comes apart, don't worry, it snaps right back together. And then there's this thing which is part of that, and it does connect. Oh, let's see, Machiavellic is here. A toast to Machiavellic. Welcome, happy Thanksgiving. I'm gonna take a bigger sip. Yeah. So, and then we're going to open up this little panel in the back, and we're just going to pivot all that backwards. And now we've got these legs, and they are just legs. They don't have feet. We'll get into that, and we're just going to pull those out. And now we take the treads, and we're going to pull them out like this, just like that. And so now you can sort of see the robot head in there. It's got a typical Michael Bay spaghetti face, and so this this can go down around here, and the whole apparatus here can swing forward. And now the pail, or the shovel, can go back. And see, these are on kind of a double hinge, and they can go back like this. And we can take these things, and we can actually kind of extend them out like this. And then we'll just go ahead and collapse these the rest of the way. Well, I'm going to leave it like that for a moment. He's very fiddly. And you can tell that it just kind of wants to come apart there, but we'll try and leave it together. And so we have the legs folded down. We're gonna swivel at the waist. And now we need to take the treads apart. There's an attachment piece right there, and so that pulls around, and then this hangs off like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We take that off right there, and we pull that around. Oh, there it went. I knew it wasn't going to hold on. I tried. And then we see these little claw thingies. Well, there's a hinge right here that allows you to fold two of them over to give him like actual clampy hands. So he has hands. And I'm not going to hate on the hands. They're not humanoid hands, but I'll live. And then you've got this little wheel thing, and that can pivot down like that, and that one pivots down like that. And so he now has arms, and he's got these that are hanging off, and we still have this. Now see this thing, so this is the joint that comes apart all the time, right there. And it just snaps right into that thing. And the problem is that it's just not that strong of a joint, but there's a lot of stuff here. So this has to kind of go together like that. See, and it pulled itself off again. There. And now we can kind of have that go like that. And now this whole thing is going to pivot like this. And, oh, it's, I think that this, yeah, you know what? I think I had it on backwards. I think that it goes on like this. Or maybe you're supposed to take it off. Yeah, it's hard for me to remember because, to be honest, this toy just isn't fun to play with. So we have these two little pegs right here on the back bumper, right in there. You see, right in there. And then there are these two holes. And so you have to get those things to line up. There we go. And get them to plug in just like that. And that stabilizes this back thing. And now you fold these down and see, you can either have him like this, because I guess in the movie they showed him and he was like jackhammering or something. Or you can split the legs and now he's got 4 legs, and there is this thing here that goes. Let's see. It's gonna do something. Maybe it goes like that. Yeah, there's that thing. It does something here, and oh yeah, okay. So I think it does something like that, So oh no, I think it's supposed to be this way. Ah, yeah, I guess it's something like that. Something like that. There we go. Let's go ahead and show it on the side camera. So this is Rampage. And as just a monster, you know, some kind of mechanical monster, then it's an interesting mechanical monster. You know, the treads kind of hanging down like things that could be flailed at you and like, you know, he could use them as whips or something. Then, you know, that's very, very interesting. And the idea that, you know, you think that there's a bulldozer parked in front of your house in the vacant lot, and then it turns into that, and it starts chasing people and splattering them with these linked treads and stabbing them with jackhammer feet and with sharp metal bits and stuff like that. You know, that kind of thing. It has the ability to be cool. But what it isn't is it's not a Decepticon. It's just not, it's not a character. It's a monster. And Michael Bay doesn't have the skill as a storyteller to make this into a character. Because the whole reason why he would have it look like this in the first place is because he's treating it as nothing more than a monster. And as somebody who wants to see Transformers, well, now I don't get to see any Decepticons. I'm just seeing monsters. So, yeah. Machiavellic is asking me a question. He says, "Hey Clay, tell me what kind of key can't open doors?" Wait, where's my wrench? Where's my wrench? Did I put it on the floor? Oh, well, I would say a monkey, because it's a monkey wrench, or a donkey, or I feel like there's one more, or a turkey. A turkey. That's what you were going for. Thank you, Machiavellic. So, a toast to Machiavellic for a Thanksgiving joke. Oh, and Tie Guy is here. A toast to Tie Guy. Hello. Happy Thanksgiving. Went down smooth. And by smooth, I mean it didn't. Kind of caught there. Anyway, and we're gonna see that treatment again when we look at Demolisher here. So this is Demolisher, and I really do love this vehicle mode. This is a cool vehicle mode, and it's well detailed. And if you leave it like this, then it's great. It really hurts it that the treads don't spin. The treads should spin. And I feel like they could have made that happen, but they just didn't. Because, I mean, it's got the rubber treads, and they look great, and they feel great, but you try to, and it just doesn't. But other than that, you can see the thing spinning in there, and I love this shovel, and I love the airbrush effect. I love the colors. It's really nice in this form. But it's a transformer, presumably. So let's just do this. We're just gonna do this. So we got. Oh, well, we got the transform noise in that one. Okay, so I'm going to show you the way that it's supposed to be transformed first. And I know I haven't been walking you through the steps, and honestly, I don't feel like you care that much. Maybe I'm wrong, but we are going to squeeze these and turn them into wheels. And then we connect that, and so we do that. Yeah, he is a very unusual, very unusual transformer. And there we go. And so this is his robot mode. Let's go ahead and show him on the other camera just so that you can really appreciate this. So here, move over, Rampage. So you cannot stand him up. He needs his arms to stand up, and he's got this wheel thing, which does actually spin. And now, what you could do, you could actually do something like this, and make him sort of a giant earth-moving motorcycle type thing. With these sort of claw arms, which is kind of awkward, but you can do it. He could be like no. And imagine if something like that were rolling down the highway, taking up all 8 lanes, and just swiping vehicles out of its way. I mean, that would be horrifying. So you know, I can respect the uniqueness of this design. But once again, that's not why I'm going to the movie, because it says Transformers in the opening credits, and this isn't one. Here's something else that you can do with this guy, because he's, you know, it's hard to know what to do with him. So if you disengage one of these, you flip this around like that, and then you do the same thing on the top and rotate this around, and then do that. So now he has wheels. You know, now he is a he is a rolling bot with wheels. And if you want to go one further, you can transform these back into treads just by extending them out. Just like that. And now he actually can stand up on his treads. So here, let's... So, you know, at this point, he can actually stand up. You know, you could even go as far as to do something like that, but you're never going to get him to balance that way. So, you know, there are things that can be done with him, and I will say that just trying to figure out what the frick to do with this guy, you can entertain yourself for a long time because of how versatile the design is. It is definitely a turkey. It's a complete turkey, but it's an interesting turkey, and it could be fun. Let's see. So Machiavellic says, okay, I gotta agree with Clay. This guys would be much cooler if they had been used properly, but they weren't characters nor monsters even, just a special effect to be punched out of the way, just action scene fodder for another battle later on. And yes, you're absolutely right, Machiavellic. A toast to Machiavellic. Oh, and it looks like... Oh, is Colleen here? Oh, and a toast to Colleen. So 2 toasts. One for Machiavellic for the very astute observation. And a toast to Colleen. Happy Thanksgiving, Colleen! That is good. So, yeah. I'm not much of a wine drinker, but that's good. So yeah, that is Demolisher. Bless you. And he's a weird guy. He is a weird guy. I kind of wish that there was that sort of the same thing that they did with Rampage's claws on these shovels, where half of it folds around the hinge to give him kind of, you know, some kind of clampy hands. This guy would have a hard time eating a sandwich because he can't pick up the sandwich. He has to scoop it. Like he could eat mashed potatoes, but he couldn't eat a sandwich. Actually, he could feed his friend mashed potatoes because his arms are jointed the wrong way. He can't feed himself mashed potatoes. Maybe if he, like, I don't know, if he dumped them up in his... I don't know. Decepticons typically don't eat a lot of mashed potatoes, but we have to think about these things because it's important. So yeah, that is Demolisher. Just a weird thing. And once again, something that outside of what is laughingly called the movie universe, he doesn't fit with other Transformers toys. This is its complete own thing, and you can't mistake it for anything else. Oh, Al Stinson is here! Al Stinson! So, a toast to Al Stinson! I can't believe that it took me like 3 tries to get to turkey. Like, I thought of monkey first and donkey, and then I was struggling to think of the word turkey on Thanksgiving. Sometimes I am not smart. Did I mention that I built a wrench? I made a wrench. I've been doing this to Monica all week. I'll just be sitting there holding the wrench. It's like, hey, did I show you that I built a wrench? So, I like my wrench. Oh, gosh. We have to do things to entertain ourselves. This life is too short not to find your own happiness. And darn it, if your key to happiness is either watching a guy on YouTube going through his toy box or making a wrench, then I say kudos to you for being a master of your own happiness. Ty Guy says he's got to shovel the cranberry sauce. The cranberry sauce is the most important part. And you know what? I agree. Wait here, I got myself some all-natural cranberry sauce in the shape of the can, like nature intended. And stuffing. Monica's homemade stuffing, too. Excellent. I feel like this was your best year for stuffing. So that is as I gobble it up. So that is the Revenge of the Fallen Constructicons. Oh, and if I had the Devastator from that movie, he would definitely be here tonight as a turkey. I didn't buy it. I didn't get any of them because they had the big one that separated into vehicles that did not transform into robots. And honestly, even if I probably would have bought it. There is one. There's a small one. It's there's a big one, but that one. Oh, now there's one that transforms into robots. And see, now that I have $300, the thing is that Devastator in that movie, what the hell? Like, I think back to Transformers the movie. The animated movie from 1986. And the Constructicons transform into Devastator. And then, with every step, then there's loud thuds. And then he reaches in, and there's that pod thing that has a gun on it, and he crushes it in his hand, and it explodes out between his fingers. And you just see, you can see his face, and the reflection of the explosion goes across his visor, okay? That is cool. And then the Autobots push that launcher into place, and they fire a couple shots at him, and then he peels off part of the wall, and he throws it at the launcher and destroys the entire room, okay? That's Devastator. That's what makes Devastator cool. This unbelievably large, menacing robot that that is pretty much the Transformers version of the Hulk. Imagine if there was a movie that was called The Incredible Hulk, but when Bruce Banner changed into the Hulk, instead of turning into a big muscle-bound green guy that would pick up tanks and throw them, he turned into some kind of strange tentacle-laden squid monster, or turned into this, okay? or turned into this. And the director was like, well, a guy in purple torn pants and muscles, that would just be ridiculous. This is way cooler. Okay? There's no way people would stand for that. The only reason he got away with it was because Transformers fans never got a movie before, and so anyway, Machiavellic says that wrench is your Mjolnir, isn't it? Yeah, you know what, this wrench is my Mjolnir. Like, I'm not going to show because if you are worthy, then you don't show off your worthiness, but I could throw it and it would come back. I can't back that up. Watching this with my hands full. Oh, Al Stinson says, watching this with my hands full, peeling potatoes. Are you preparing dinner right now, Al Stinson? In that case, I feel like we should have recipes on the screen or something. And don't peel the potatoes, keep the skins. The skins are the best part. Monica made mashed potatoes with the skins. Oh my gosh, they're so good. So good. Oh, and here, let's show Monica's. So this is Monica's Thanksgiving recipe book. And so this is what Monica uses every year when she is making Thanksgiving dinner. And this is a book of deliciousness right here. So Machiavellic says, fun fact, there was a reaction like that during the Lou Ferrigno show, and that's why Bruce is called David Banner in that show, because Bruce sounds gay. I remember that. Oh gosh. Yeah, we couldn't have a main character named Bruce. Every episode he beats the hell out of everybody, and they felt like Bruce. Okay, you know what? Whatever. Bruce sounds Australian. Good day, mate. Oh, I'm Bruce. You know what? Don't get me angry, mate. You won't like me when I'm angry. So, anyway. So, that brings us to our next Transformers turkey, and this is a whole group. This is Transformers War for Cybertron video game version of the Combaticons. This is Bruticus, and you can... There, we got him. So, maybe we can make him stand up. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. We're trying. We're trying to get him to stand up. And is he going to do it? No. He's not going to do it. Okay, well, this is him, and he is capable of standing, but not great. He has a difficult time, and he is such a mixed bag. So let's talk about Bruticus here. Bruticus is made of 5 Combaticons in Cybertronian modes. Now, the designs themselves are not bad. Decent looking robot modes, decent looking vehicle modes, sufficiently sci-fi. And what they did achieve with this, there are some things that they achieved with this that are phenomenal. For one thing, this set requires no extra pieces to combine. So you're not adding any hands or any feet. You put them together, and you can take the weapons, which I don't have the weapons with me because they're not really important to the conversation. But you can take the weapons and put them all together to make a combined weapon for the super robot mode, and any of the 4 appendage robots can be, they can be swapped. However, the stated combined mode, and I didn't show this, is of course like in the Gen 1 version, where it has Blastoff as an arm and Swindle is the leg. This guy... Oh, also, another thing that they achieved is that all the characters are relatively the same size. Onslaught is not significantly bigger than any of the other ones. And that's kind of impressive. So you've got and you look at it, and the robot mode is that this looks like a thing. Now it's actually cool looking from the front. So you look at it, like, you look at it from the side, and you realize that there is nothing to him. He is so cheap. The plastic is thin. He is light. He is so like I can, you see through him in places. He is insubstantial. And even the current Earthrise series has, like the RC is very light, but these guys are worse. And I'm going to show you why I have Blastoff as a leg, which Blastoff, if you read the wiki article, it talks about how Blastoff makes for a pretty bad leg because, see, the tail here doesn't go all the way down, so it doesn't support in the front. So they're only using, oh wait, you can't see because the other leg is in the way. So here, let me get Brawl out of the way. All right, so we've got Blastoff here, and the tail pieces right here, they don't go down to the same level as the rest of the space shuttle, or the spaceship. It's not a space shuttle. So you don't get any stability out of these tail fins here, so it makes this a pretty bad foot. However, let's just take that off of there, and we'll take Swindle off here, and we'll fold that in there, and then we'll do something here. There we go. Okay, so we'll turn Swindle into a foot or a leg. And you just gotta kind of get the arms out of the way. There we go. So, yeah. Alright, so we've got Swindle as a leg. And Swindle does make a good leg. He makes a decent arm as well. There's no real elbow joint. There's a segment that implies an elbow joint, but you can't really move it. So, and then we've got Brawl here, and Brawl, he he does make a foot, but it's really hard to get it to. You see, it doesn't want to stay, and it kind of needs to. You know that like, I want to do something to stabilize it, and there's really not anything that I can do to lock that foot into place. So he's not a very good foot, but I don't think he's a very good hand either. So here, let's see. Actually, I think the weapons are on them, but I didn't combine them. So yeah, we can. But anyway, Swindle makes a good foot, and so I'm going to turn him into an arm. And I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say I'm sorry, because it's not good. I'm warning you right now. If you're gonna be looking for something good out of this, you're not gonna get it. Nope, it's not coming. You kind of take these things and put them together like that, and then he has half of a hand here and half of a hand here, and you have to get these halves to go together, and so in order to do that, you need to swivel the legs around like that, and then pivot, and let's see, he's going to be that kind, so we need to get the thumb out. He's got two thumbs depending on which side you want to put him on, but you'll never want him to be an arm, just so that you know. That'll never happen. And so you pull out the hands, or the hand halves here, and then you put together these things here. Now, I've seen the instructions show this transformed a little bit differently, but with I think these things like that. You know, the pictures will show it like that. I don't like that. It doesn't seem to work as well, so I pivot them this way. So you have this arm, and as arms go, it's like, okay, that's not a bad arm. I mean, sure, there's some kibble stuff happening here, but all in all, that's okay, right? That seems like it should be okay, right? Right? Until you realize that this arm is longer than that arm. Like a lot longer. So here, we're going to put this on here. There we go. And there we go. So there we go. That is a really long arm. And then this hand is in a permanent, like, I'm gonna bitch slap you. You can't like close it, so it's just kind of flat. He does have an elbow, but yeah, the arm is so long. It is so long. Look at that. That's bad. And there's no elbow here. You can't like, you know, with Vortex you got that elbow, which also helps to give it a more realistic proportion. I know I just used realistic proportions to describe an alien robot. Technically he can have whatever length arms that he wants, but that just looks bad. It just, you know, it does not look good. And I have fought with this thing because trying to get it to where, like, if the hand were up here, then it would be fine, but you can't do it. You just can't do it. So yeah, we've got, and so a lot of the pictures that you'll see he'll have his arm out like this, so that you can't really see how much longer the arm is than the arm on the other side. But yeah, he's a little bit wonky, and every figure is just so light and so cheap. He feels like he was made by a third-party company. You know, like when I used to be able to get those knockoff Transformers at Big Lots that were cheap versions of existing Transformers, or things from overseas that were probably knockoffs from something else, and they would convert into robots. You know, you could feel how hollow everything was, and how the plastic was as thin and flimsy as they could get it and still have it hold together, and sometimes it didn't. And that's how this guy feels. And it's a shame, because the designs themselves are not bad. I don't like the design for Blastoff. Al Stinson says, is that Neil Long Armstrong? Neil Long Armstrong, because it's a spaceship. Neil Arm. Very good. Very good. A toast. So, yeah, thank you, Al Stinson. That was good. So, yeah, I remember when I got these guys, and I think I had to, we had to collect them individually. And when I finally put them together to form Bruticus, it was just tremendously disappointing. Because, like I said, he looks great from the front, and then when you get to the back, everything is just, it's hollow, it's thin, it's light, it just feels cheap. And that ruins it. It really does. It just ruins it. And yeah, Monica was just reminding me, which, yeah, I was going to get to that. We were at a Three Rivers Con, Steel City Con, and there was a special edition version of this done in Gen 1 colors, and it was $300. And you couldn't see it in the box. It was, it was kind of a blind box, but there was a drawing of what was in it. And of course the drawing looked really cool. And at the time, I didn't have this yet. So we had seen pictures, and it looked like it was going to be awesome. And the video game that it was from was awesome. And I have to say, it was really, really hard. I mean, we really couldn't afford it, but we wanted it. And if I had paid $300 for this, I would be sick. I would be sick. I would literally, I would have vomited. It would have been that upsetting to pay $300 for such cheaply made characters. Now, I will say, these guys haven't broken on me, but they also don't really get a whole lot of play. The joints are awkward, and they all just feel thin and flimsy and cheap. And it's such a shame, because there was obviously a lot of thought put into the designs for 4 out of 5 of the guys. He's bad. I'm sorry, and I'm gonna pull off Blastoff for a second. So blast off. Let's go ahead and show him in his robot mode, so that you can see him. His robot mode is actually fine. Oh, these pop off pretty easily, which is because, you know, again, it's kind of cheap, cheaply made. You know, it's not like they didn't pay a you know, they weren't still charging their premium price, but they just not really a good return on your investment. So there we go. So his robot mode is fine. You know, aside from feeling a little bit spindly and hollow, his robot mode is fine. I like the big shoulders. The yeah, this whole detail here. Yeah, I don't like the aesthetics. He stands out amongst all of the Combaticons as just having a very different style. Everything is kind of jaggedy, and there's a lot of lines going on and a lot of fins going on, and the rest of them don't have that, and I just don't think it works that well. I don't think that it looks. I don't think that it looks like the character that it's based off of, and I honestly don't think that it actually looks all that good, but it's serviceable. And I think that the deco is fine, but it feels so light. You know, there's just no weight here. The joints for the most part are okay, except for the ones that come apart very easily. And then we'll go into space shuttle mode, or spaceship mode. I keep wanting to say space shuttle, but it's not a space shuttle, it's a spaceship. Kind of a rocket. So we're going to pivot the body up, and that's going to give you the nose cone, and it's going to snap in just like that. And we're going to do the legs, so they're going to go up like this, and then this one's going to go up like that, and then these the arms fold underneath this part of the thruster here. There we go. So like that. And then this one's going to do the same thing. It's going to fold up underneath the thruster. And then these are both going to come back and come together. And then that's going to mesh up with the body here. And then we just kind of finesse everything so that it clicks together. And you've got a rocket ship. And we got lots and lots of fins here. And so that's the rocket. And I just don't like the aesthetics. You know, the other Combaticons are all kind of sleek and futuristic looking, and this one's just got a lot of stuff going on in different directions, but it doesn't have a single cohesive design, or maybe it does, and I just don't like the cohesive. Like, I don't like what the design is doing. Yeah, I don't like the many fins. I don't like all of this stuff happening. You know, it seems to be stuff for stuff's sake. And here I'll compare it to Swindle here. There we go. So we'll turn Swindle into he's sort of an all-terrain, a Cybertronian all-terrain vehicle.
And we got fenders that do something. So we're going to flip the feet down, and then we're going to get the body to click in. So there's a couple little tabs here that need to go together, and then we're going to put the feet, the arms are going to go, they're going to tab in here. There, I think. There we go. And it's funny because I keep wanting to make these fenders, but they don't turn into fenders. So we tab the arm in there. And these panels that look like they should be fenders just hide themselves underneath here. And then we have that. So you look at this vehicle, and it has, very, some smooth surfaces here and some neat lines that go back through the vehicle. And there's still some engine pieces that are coming up through here. And some pipes here, and he's got neat looking tires. Now, unfortunately, the inside is very, very hollow. Once again, this is also very, very light, but the vehicle aesthetic is futuristic and pretty cool looking. And then you compare this vehicle to this one, and they do not. They just don't match. They don't go together at all. And the rest of the Combaticons look more like this, and then there's this. And then when you combine it with the fact that this guy makes a lousy foot, and he also makes a lousy arm, and his vehicle mode doesn't look like it belongs with the rest of them, it's like, Blastoff really kind of got the raw deal here. This is Brawl. And we can flip that around and flip that up, and then do this, and he turns into sort of a hover tank type thing. And again, a very distinctive design aesthetic. He's got more straight angles than Swindle, but again, futuristic, but not just kind of gobbledygooky. And he just looks gobbledygooky. So yeah, we might as well show Vortex and Onslaught, since I've shown you 3 out of 5. And his hand goes right in there. That's his bitch slapping hand. Just so that everybody knows, I do not advocate the slapping of bitches. Dogs are our friends, and it's not nice to be mean to them. So, and then we take the this has to kind of collapse together. There's a thing that needs to happen here, and I'm trying to remember what it is. Oh, okay, so there's a hinge point right in here, and we're gonna do that, and that's gonna go together like that, and then that allows us to put everything back together. If I get these together, and see these pieces, they just, once again, they feel very, very hollow and insubstantial, and it seems like I'm gonna break it in my hand just by finessing it. But so I've always questioned Cybertronian helicopters because I'm not even sure that Cybertron has air. I mean, they've shown humans on Cybertron, so I guess it has an oxygen atmosphere, but I don't know. But nonetheless, this is a helicopter, and it's sufficiently alien looking. Once again, the design aesthetic is very similar to Brawl and similar to Swindle. Not so much gobbledygook guy over here. So let's set those there. And now we get to Onslaught. And Onslaught, out of all of them, he feels the most insubstantial. And I think that's because they have stretched the plastic to its thinnest on him. He's got a head in there, so we're gonna get rid of the Bruticus head somehow. I don't remember how. Let's see. So we've got some Onslaught arms here, and we've got a hinge back here. So let's go ahead and do that, and we're gonna flip the legs around like this, and then we're gonna rotate them just like that. And then we're going to rotate the whole body, and let's see, oh wait, no, maybe this does something. It does something. Okay, so that opens up like that. And I feel like these need to do a thing, but I'm struggling to remember what that thing is that they're supposed to do. Okay, so we got that, and let's turn around the Bruticus head, and then I think that the arms just do something like that. Is that what the arms do? Because that kind of sucks. Okay, I need to look at a picture of him. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna pull up reinforcements. I apologize, but I need reinforcements for this, and I just happen to have a web page open right here. So let's go to the internet view. And let's look at Onslaught. Let's click on the toy link. Is there a toy link? Yeah, there we go. Toy. So he turns into that. And so going back to the side camera, we're kind of close. Oh, okay. So whoops, the arm there. So the arms, this pops back in there, and then this goes like that, and so he's going to put his hands over his face. That's what's going to happen. We are going to put his hands over his face like that. And then oh, okay, so these do stay out like this. And now this hinge is going to go like that. And Dudley is very upset. Oh, okay. I see what's going on here. I'm picking up what it's throwing down. This goes like that. Let's see. This thing kind of goes, I think, underneath. And that comes out the back like that. And blip. And blip. We're getting there. And then there's another piece that I didn't pull out that covers up that. That is sort of the vehicle mode. I know there's more to it than that, but I feel like it's just not fun watching me fight with this thing. So, yeah, that is Onslaught most of the way there. And once again, oh yeah, I think that's it. So, and then there's a piece that attaches on the top. It feels like there's only half of them here. And it's like they achieved. There were really talented designers that went into making these, and those designers had handcuffs on because they had to do it and keep it under a gram weight of something ridiculously low. That's it's like there's, oh gosh, it's so hard when you see a group of characters that have so much promise and then the execution is hampered because they just don't want to spend a little bit more money to make the toys nicer. Yeah, that's all it is. Nice designs that they did not want to spend the money on. So that is Transformers War for Cybertron video game Bruticus. And he's a turkey. Just no way around it. He is 100% turkey. So, and oh, Joy is here. Joy, you're kind of catching us at the tail end, and I am so sorry. We did things early, kind of like kind of like doing dinner early. So I'm sorry that you're getting us at the very end, but a toast to Joy. So thank you. So that is it for our turkey Transformers. But it is not it for us. Tomorrow night, we are celebrating, wait for it, Black Prime Day. You see what we did there? Black Prime Day. Do we need to get Dudley? Okay, Dudley is very angry. And I think that what he is yelling about is that he's not on camera. So we need to get Dudley over here so that he can be on camera. Because, hello there! You've been yelling at me. Oh, look at Dudders. Look at Dudders. Yeah. Oh, you want to say Happy Thanksgiving to everybody? Yeah. Oh, he's a sweetums.
He loves everybody. And it's so nice how he came over and got up on my lap all on his own without any coaxing from anybody else. So, and this is his tail. There he is. There's his butt. And there's his tail. Can I have that? No? Oh, sweet kitty. There he goes. Yeah. Yeah, there's Dutters. There's Dutters. All right. You feel better, buddy? So, as I was saying, tomorrow is Black Prime Day, and it's going to be all about dark primes. And, see, it's Black Friday, except we did Black Prime Day. Yes, see what we did. And so it's going to be at our normal time, 8 o'clock, and it's going to be awesome. So please come back, and we're going to have a lot of fun looking at pretty much dark repaints of Optimus Prime. That's pretty much the theme. You know, Scourge, Nemesis Prime. If when they decide to make an evil version of Prime, or make him look grisly, then it's Black Prime Day. So that is happening tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. It's gonna be great, and we're gonna have alcoholic beverages and Transformers and fun. Please, if you haven't already, click the subscribe button. Force your family members to subscribe, and your friends, and click the thumbs up things, because that actually helps us a lot. It tells the YouTube algorithm that not only are you watching these, but you did it on purpose, and we're glad for that decision. And then the YouTube algorithm says, oh, well, then I wonder if some other people would maybe like to watch that too, and it suggests it, which helps us grow. And the faster we grow, the sooner I get to turn off mid-roll ads, because I'm not allowed to do that yet. Freaking YouTube. So, everybody, thank you for joining me on a Thanksgiving evening. I hope everybody's having a wonderful holiday, and I know this one's been a little bit rough. So hopefully you had fun tonight. Everybody have a wonderful and safe Thanksgiving, and here is a toast to Kyoji, to Sean Shago, to Setsune, Amanda, Maria Paula Rojas. Thank you for joining us, Maria. I hope we see you again. I hope you had fun. Chris Remley, Machiavellic, Ty Guy. Hello, Ty Guy. Colini, always a pleasure. Al Stinson. And, of course, last but not least, joy to the world. A toast to joy. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Have a happy holiday. I'll see you tomorrow night.